Hello and welcome back everybody to the Dota League season number 3. We are looking at game number 2 between First Departure and MiTH Trust in this 2-game series. Where game number 1, it was pretty dominated by MiTH, to be honest. We were expecting First Departure to maybe be the favorites coming into this, but MiTH Trust, they show that they have what it takes to just play with the big boys, I guess. But we're here in the draft. I'm Coucher, and once again I am joined by Mike Lores.
And once again, we see MiTH Trust putting a little bit of respect towards First Departure, and they're going to be banning out the Naga Siren first. Death Prophet also is going to be kicked out, so we're going to be seeing a little bit of a different game here. MiTH Trust, I mean, they still could probably get their hands on the Centaur, and that was just such a wonky start for them. Like, Vengeful Spirit, Centaur, Roam, that didn't actually do much, but they transitioned it pretty well because Lakelz just went nuts all by himself. So, MiTH Trust, the lanes, they weren't the strongest, but they ended up working out for them, and I don't think that's something that they could consistently rely upon, so I think they're probably going to want to play this a little bit more standard as far as their support cast is concerned. That game worked out, but you can't depend on that working again.
Yeah, it's definitely the case like you mentioned, so we'll see if First Departure will mix it up a little bit, just go for something else instead. I mean, Shadow Shaman, it's a pretty damn strong hero, so that definitely wasn't the issue there, I think, but looking at the bans, Death Prophet was taken out. Other than that, I do believe Lycan, Faceless West, and Naga were the same bans from last game. First Departure, Death Prophet was replaced with a Brewmaster, I think, otherwise 100% identical. But what's the first pick gonna be here? Doombringer, Nature's Prophet, possibly Skyriff Mage. I mean, just completely forgetting what other so-called first pick worthy heroes are left.
I think Razor Brewmaster are probably the best for the solo pick, like if you have this first pick as opposed to the two following. So those both are go very well into pretty much any lineup. Their lanes are usually pretty solid, and they do offer a little bit of flexibility, although not that much. So I'd like to see Razor or Brewmaster to open things up. Doom, I don't really think he's first pick material, but that's just me again. So we'll see what First Departure actually wants. Skyriff Mage, it's a support hero first pick. Not really too sure how much I like that, but it's a solid enough hero. You can never go wrong with Skyriff Mage.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's always a small chance that it's actually going to be a mid lane Skyriff instead of that support role, but first pick Skyriff, especially when you don't have that Faceless Void to follow up on, it can still be strong if you have that necessary setup for it. Wouldn't surprise me all that much if First Departure went for that Skyriff Mage Shadow Shaman combination, for example. I mean, Shackles, as well as Hex even, plenty of setup for that Mystic Flare if need be. Ancient Seal also boosting up the damage of Ethershock, not too bad, not too shabby at all. But MiTH now, Brewmaster, Doombringer, Razor, Viper. Just, I think one of those heroes will definitely get picked up. But what's the second gonna be? It's more in the open.
Well, MiTH Trust, they are going to first pick that Doom. It was okay for them last game, and then snap up the Vengeful Spirit. Okay, so MiTH Trust, they're not going to get their hands on another Death Prophet, unfortunately for them, but they're going to try to replicate last game as much as they can. Vengeful Spirit Doom is kind of a weird start. Vengeful Spirit especially is a hero that usually you could pick up a little bit later, but if it worked out for them game number 1, why wouldn't it work out game number 2? It's going to pretty much deny First Departure that Batrider pickup, which is nice, I guess, but I don't know if it's completely worth picking the Vengeful Spirit up this early.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a hero that could be picked up later on as well. It's the case with a couple of heroes, like I believe we saw in Immunity versus Insidious Idol, where the Shadow Demon was picked up in the first phase, or even as the first pick. So it's something you could leave later on along the draft. I guess maybe you want to just you don't want to reveal your cards, or I don't know what the reasoning behind it is. Maybe MiTH Trust are going for something crazy like a minus armor strategy, picking up a Slaughter now. I mean, one can hope at least.
Yeah, let's all cross our fingers and hope that comes to be. Vengeful Spirit really is a fine hero. Like, I think we're probably saying that we're giving the impression that we think she's not a good pickup right here. She's a perfectly reasonable hero. She will be good, but it's just that you could probably get her later. So was she better than a Shadow Shaman? I would say sometimes yes, oftentimes no. First Departure, they're going to pick up two powerhouses, Skyriff Mage and Brewmaster. These are going to be pretty nice together, as Doom's Doom is going to be pretty good versus both these heroes, but First Departure, if they spread out their really heavy-hitting spells and make sure that the Doom is going to be performing a juggling act with his ultimate, then First Departure should be more or less happy most of the time.
Yeah, they should indeed. And well, to be honest, the biggest difference, for example, between a Vengeful Spirit and a Shadow Shaman as just support value goes is we saw it in the last game as well. Even though first parts they were behind pretty much the entire game, just thanks to the Mass Serpent Wars, they were still able to clean up a pretty good amount of towers. Actually, I think they were still ahead in towers, if you don't count the last tier free falling. So it's a so-so trade, but looking at the next set of bans, Centaur taken out by first departure, MiTH once again banning out that Nature Prophet in the second phase as they did in game 1, I do think. So where is either team heading for this first departure? Are they gonna go more aggressive with more magic burst, which could be amplified by that ancient seal, or do they just look for great team fight, pick up a Tide Hunter for example?
I think right now they're probably going to be fighting for support heroes. No support hero is going to get banned out right now, and each side already has one. Shadow Shaman still in the pool, Earthshaker in the pool. I expect both of these heroes to be picked up in this game. Who picks them up, it's really up for debate. I think MiTH will probably be better with an Earthshaker, and First Departure would be perfectly happy picking up a Shadow Shaman, but yeah, they want to take out the supports as fast as possible because they do have versatility in their cores later on, as pretty much all the cores got banned. Razor getting pretty far along in the pick stage, and then of course the Weaver and Centaur of last game that we talked up very highly because they did do work. So First Departure taking precautions, and MiTH, I believe, with more or less the same bans as last time, with the 3 of the 4 at least, or the same as last time. And MiTH, they're waiting for, I could only assume, a support hero, so I would like to see Shaker from them, although a Sven, ooh man. Well, hopefully this is going to be a different Sven from the previous game. That was quite interesting, but I haven't actually seen a real core Sven in a long time. Or I haven't casted it myself, personally.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't casted one myself either, really. I think the last time I casted it was First Departure themselves running it, but I believe it was like end of June or start of June or something like that, so a pretty long time ago, to be honest. Man, I'm hoping for the core Sven. Although, even a support Sven roaming around with Vengeful Spirit might not be bad at all. I mean, the Stormhammer has a pretty reasonable range, and just the cast time, or not the cast time, but the flying time of it is pretty fast as well. So, oh wait, Troll Warlord, man, MiTH, their lineup is just getting better and better.
Oh man, they're on the we're gonna just get some farm and then smash you with our attack speed plan. Vengeful Spirit, her damage output from the Aura and the Howl of Terror is, god damn it, is it Wave of Terror or Howl of Terror? I keep on forgetting. Wave of Terror.
It's Wave.
Howl of Terror is Warcraft. She's gonna be doing so much.
I want to see Howl as well so often, man.
What is that?
Yeah, I want to see Howl as well, but it's Wave. It's like, oh goddamn.
Yeah, I mean that's because it's Howl of Terror in Warcraft 3. That's what's throwing me. I don't know what's throwing you, but yeah, they're going to get a lot of physical right click with these heroes, and Troll Warlord is most likely going to be the mid lane hero. If it's versus Brewmaster, it's fine, but First Departure, wow, go for a Beastmaster. This is great. These are like all the heroes that we saw in the last set,
Man,
except now on different teams, and they're probably not going to be in a 6-minute game.
Yeah, it's MiTH banning out the Tinker. It's no surprise to me at all, to be honest. Once I saw the Beastmaster, that's the first hero I thought about, the Tinker. Just being able to TP to the Hawk is just so damn ridiculous. It's so strong, and you can't really see it coming ever almost. But MiTH now. To be honest, one combo I would like to see is Troll Warlord plus Meepo. Just Meepo right-clicking away with Troll Ultimate, man. It would be so sick.
I would love to see that, but I don't think this is the game for Meepo, as terrible as it is to say. I also don't really like support Sven. Like, Stormhammer is fine, but I feel like, in general, Vengeful Spirit with the Magic Missile is going to be doing the same exact thing that Sven does. So, you know, when you're giving the choice, I would rather take Vengeful Spirit. Sven Core seems a lot better. I mean, God Strength, Warcry Cleave is all well and good. Oh, ho, ho. Okay, Warlock as the last for MiTH. Now, these are 3 heroes that we rarely see. Sven, Troll Warlord, and Warlock. Sven and Troll work very well together. Warlock is kind of the odd one out. But MiTH, they actually have a good amount of team fight once they get their levels up. First Departure, they're going to be a lot more so in the single target department. They have a lot of initiation with the Beastmaster, and they will be able to get picks off of that hero.
To be honest, I mean, if First Departure, I mean, we have no idea to actually say for sure if they wanted to go for the Tinker, but let's say they did. Wouldn't it have been better to just pick it up as the 4th hero? Yes, MiTH would have had that one last pick to just try to counter it somewhat, but first of all, they would have had to pick a hero that fits MiTH's lineup themselves, and First Departure, going for a Templar Assassin now, I mean, I just want to say that I think MiTH Trust has this draft on lockdown.
Yeah, the Templar Assassin as the last pick is certainly going to be a very nice pickup versus the Troll if it does come down to that situation. But aside from that, Templar Assassin I think is just going to be very quickly overrun. But I don't know. First Departure, they have the X factor in the Beastmaster. If they played it super aggressively from the point where they get Primal Roar, then with the TA power and the damage she puts out, they could very easily punish MiTH before they could really get going. So it's going to be the ball in First Departure's court. As for MiTH, they're just going to sit back and get a little bit of farm, especially since Lakelz is going to be playing the Sven. He's going to be getting all the farm. And, well, with him farming up with the Troll Warlord played by MyPro, there's going to be a lot of physical damage down the line. So they will be vulnerable to the split as well as to the Roar, but if they get enough time, they'll be able to overcome that. Other heroes on the MiTH side, we have KYT playing the Doom once again, TNK on the Vengeful Spirit, and SD playing the support Warlock.
Yes, and for First Departure, Miracle, up on the Templar Assassin, leaving Kai to play the Earthshaker with Dafa on the Beastmaster lobby to play the Skyraf, and KS will be the last one on the Brewmaster. But man, if I had this Sven set, I would also want to play that hero. First of all, that sword, plus even the just headgear and everything, he looks so wicked. To be honest, he reminds me a little bit, or with the armor and everything, it should be like Juggernaut this set, kind of, but man, that guy looks awesome.
His shoulder plate with the whole demon, Japanese-ish dragon demon thing, it definitely looks like a Juggernaut thing, so. He also has a shield on his back, which would be pretty nice for him to actually just use, although I don't think he has the upper arm strength for that.
Well, man, if you have a two-hander weapon, it's going to be hard as it is. But, so, as we proposed anyway, just judging from drafts, which team would you give the advantage to?
It's kind of hard to say because there's so many heroes that are so very, very rarely seen. I think First Departure have a much safer team composition. Like, they're able to pick off single targets very easily. MiTH Trust, if they don't get their early game farm, then they will just crumble. So I think I favor First Departure slightly, but only like 55-45, something like that. It's going to be fairly even, I would say, as both teams have quite a lot going for them.
Yeah, I mean, both teams actually rather want to get those level 6s. I mean, for KS, just to get the Primal Split, Dafa to have his Primal Roar, and of course Mysticlair to follow up that Primal Roar of lobby. So, we will see. Both teams definitely want to pick up the momentum early on. And man, this game is gonna be a brawl, I think. Just most likely lots of fighting early.
Yeah, and MiTH Trust, with this Warlock pick, I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like Warlock in general is best played as a core, so you get level 6 up really quickly. As a support, he doesn't really offer that much, except for, bear with me, potentially maxing out Upheaval first. With stuns from the Vengeful Spirit and the Sven, that might get some serious value if they do go aggressive against their lane opponents, but I don't know, it's kind of dangerous going for max out Upheaval over maxed out Shadow Word first.
Yeah, it's, I guess, player preference at the moment, and depending on the situation they're laning and what feels best at the time. But I just have to point out that, yes, Warlock, I actually prefer him in a core role as well for the same reasons you mentioned. But we had a support Centaur in last game as well, which worked out pretty damn well. Of course, Warlock, it's not like he can gank as efficiently. I mean, doesn't have a stun or slows, or Upheaval can slow, I guess, but just won't have the damage at the same time then. But if he can perform as well as he did on the Centaur last game, it should be fine, but no two games of Dota are just exactly the same, so we'll see.
Yeah, Warlock is inherently not as consistently explosive as a Centaur. Once Centaur picks up his Blink Dagger, or sometimes even just level 6, he's ready to go, and he's ready to go consistently. Like, he will constantly just go at you and try to stomp you and kill you off as much as he can. Warlock, once he hits his level 6, he's a lot happier, to be sure. But this Chaotic Offering has almost a 3-minute cooldown. He's going to be so hamstrung by the fact that he will need that in order to contribute a good amount to his team. Upheaval, Shadow Word, and Fatal Bonds, they're all decent enough, but they're kind of reliant purely on the teammates. So Warlock is definitely not as self-sufficient as the Centaur. So we'll see if they could actually make this work. The lanes, I think, are going to be pretty vanilla coming out from both sides, except for First Departure. It's most likely going to be Beastmaster heading down towards the bottom lane. I want to say TA mid, expecting the Troll, but Brewmaster could still go there if he wants to.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Brewmaster, at least KS is usually the mid laner, but starting with Boots might go somewhere else instead. I mean, would you start Brewmaster with Boots if you're going into the mid lane? I mean, maybe if it's up against something like a Razor, but is there anything from MiTH that you really need the Boots for?
Not really. So since he is opening for boots, it's probably not going to be a mid lane brew. Uh, is it just going to be a safe lane brew? And he just figures he's going to get boots early, so he could potentially be aggressive with the Skywrath Mage and Earthshaker. That is a pretty decent kill combination. It's a lot better than anything else that first departure have.
I mean, I guess having Templar Assassin means that TA is most likely gonna go mid lane, and I guess up against a Troll, yeah, my pro is the mid lane player for MiTH, so I mean, I can't say I've actually seen this matchup, I think, Troll versus Templar Assassin, so how do you think who should have the upper hand, given that there's no support rotations?
Given no support actually, I don't even think support rotations are going to influence it that much. Templar Assassin should have the edge here. Troll Warlord, he is a little bit more of a ranged hero than TA, so he'll have a little bit more effective range to get going. But if he can't use Whirling Axes to actually chunk down the TA, then TA is going to have the time of her life. And I think Troll Warlord should be fine. Troll Warlord's also not going to receive any support rotations, whereas TA is potentially going to with Earthshaker and Skywrath Mage. So I expect mid lane to be pretty firmly won by first departure. My pro will be fine, though. He's not going to get completely crushed. So again, it's pretty narrow, like 60-40 Templar Assassin. But yeah, it should be pretty easily handled by first departure.
Yeah, I mean, I think first departure probably have the better support to roam around and get kills as well. I mean, Vengeful Spirit, all fine and good, but we already talked about it in some length. Just Warlock's ability to roam early and how effective it can be. I mean, every hero can roam, it's just the effectiveness that matters there, but Go has finally been given. Got no idea why the pause was so long, but we are finally underway. Smoke's picked up by both teams. Don't think they will use it straight away. I mean, sometimes you just want to smoke into the enemy jungle to get there faster a little bit or something and try to catch the enemy off guard, but doesn't look to be the case here. Or, never mind me, they do smoke up in the end after all. Miracle though, lagging behind.
Come on, Mikasa, we need your help here. Brewmaster with boots is certainly going to help if they run into someone this early, although with so many stuns to disengage, I don't know if they could actually get a kill on anyone. Sven as a level 1 hero is extraordinarily tanky. He has a good amount of health, stout shield purchased, and 5 armor. So even if they catch the Sven, I don't know if they could kill him. KS is going to pop the smoke, and it looks like MiTH, they shouldn't fight this. Warlock level 1 is not that impressive, and first departure, they're just going to take a quick trip and make sure to block off a couple of camps. Sven is a hero that you could stack for pretty effectively. Once he gets his cleave maxed out, then he'll be able to clear camps like no other. But yeah, for MiTH, this Warlock is going to be very similar to the Abaddon that we saw last game for first departure. His roaming is decent enough, and especially once he gets level 6, he could do it a lot better. But for the most part, this lane is going to be get kills if they can versus the Brewmaster. Otherwise, just secure farm for the Sven and get levels for the Warlock. Play it super passive down on bottom.
Yeah, it's what they should be doing at the very least. Just keep on stacking up the jungle as well. Lakells with his cleave can just potentially farm it up. Actually, Dafa gonna get Stormhammered up. ST, Shadow Word is there as well. A few more right clicks. Illusion Rune picked up, helping out even more a little bit. Is he gonna go down to the Shadow Word? I think he is. One more right click. Yes, he cannot deny himself to the Ancients because, well, they haven't spawned yet. So, ST picks up the first blood, man. This really nicely done by Lakells as well, coming in from the other side of the river like this.
Oh, and now he's going to block the camp with the Sentry Ward, and with an Illusion Rune still up, oh, this is going to mess with the Beastmaster so much. He's going to figure, okay, well, the Illusions are there. They probably blocked my Ancients, and he will be wrong in saying that because the Illusions actually aren't doing anything right now. The Ancients are, in fact, blocked by a Sentry Ward, so the Beastmaster's going to have to wait for these Illusions to time out before he realizes that the camps are actually blocked. And by that time, it's going to be so much time where the Beastmaster has done literally nothing. TNK could pretty much solo zone out the Beastmaster, and he'll go ahead and do that right away. Fortunately for first departure, KYT is currently just clearing a camp, and he's not going to be going up against KS. This is another lane for first departure where their lane should just win versus the Doom. But we saw Doom recover from that last game, so we should be fine moving forward.
Yeah, just farm up a little bit, get that Hand of Midas running, and with the Devour plus Midas, if you can catch up at some point, you are getting crushed completely anyway, pretty much. But Dafa is trying to man-fight it out a little bit with TNK. I mean, Vengeful Spirit doesn't have the best right-click, not an animation, but just range of it. So, Beastmaster, he has to make sure, oh, Kai. He came in with his own sentry ward, got rid of the Radiant one, but is it going to be far enough as mid lane? Whoa, Miracle actually in trouble. MiPro, he sets up that solo kill. Holy crap, man.
Yeah, I thought that Templar Assassin would have a much better time in this mid lane, but apparently I'm wrong. MiPro just keeping her slowed down with the ranged whirling axes, then TA with the range disadvantage is actually getting chipped down a lot harder than I really expected. So she's not having a great time over in this mid lane. Of course, it's not going to be entirely too crippling. She will be able to recover. She is still farming okay. But still, this Troll Warlord going really aggressive versus TA. Now as a bottle, there's rotation coming in from Kai. Didn't think they would need to rotate the Earthshaker in this early, but if they do, they could very easily get a kill onto MiPro. Although not when he's full HP like that. Chugged the entire bottle, and he's going to be just fine to continue with the harassment. Miracle's got to play this lane a little bit more carefully. The ranged axe harassment is pretty nice, especially since Troll Warlord, with that range follow-up, is getting so many more right clicks for free than the Templar Assassin's getting.
Yeah, and actually, man, that kill was so damn huge just because it delays Miracle's bottle by so damn much on the Templar Assassin. Since he went for Brave Band first, didn't go for the bottle rush at all by any means. He's getting off to a pretty damn great start. Although, the Psy Blades actually being level 2 as well, not even going for 1 point into meld at all. They are pretty damn annoying, and of course giving that little extra bit of range as well for Miracle to work with. So with some nice angled Psy Blades, he's keeping MiPro at bay a little bit. So doing what he can really, it's nothing more you can expect of him considering he did tie here already.
Yeah, it's a nice little adaptation. Usually it's just 1 point side blade, so you get a little bit of spill damage, and so you're not completely a melee hero. But meld is not going to help her this much in this particular game, given that there's so much stun, and there's most likely going to be sentries pretty quickly. As far as damage output goes, it'll certainly hurt her a little bit, having that 1 point in side blades instead of meld, but she needs it right now. She was just taking so much damage from MiPro that she can't afford to just sit back in her low range and be happy with that. She's going to pop the shield now as MiPro is actually getting these whirling axes to go through the refraction just by timing alone. So MiPro's doing very well in this middle lane, and well, I didn't think he was going to do that well, but he's certainly making it happen. But still going the best for first departure is going to be the fact that they've forced out KYT out of the top lane completely. Brewmaster could pretty much win that lane by himself. When you add a couple supports on top of that, it gets really messy. Beastmaster, he's only level 2 though, so he doesn't exactly have the best contingency plan, except for stacking Ancients, which he is doing. He's stacked up 2 camps. He's going to need a little bit more, and MiTH, they're not acting to slow down this Beastmaster at all. So though they are getting a lot of farm on Sven, and they're doing very well for Troll, the rest of their heroes aren't really doing that great.
Yeah, I mean, just the stacking aspect of first departure is going to be extremely nice for them. Beastmaster can farm them up, even Brewmaster help out to some extent, Psy Blades from Templar Assassin. Just stack up everything as a catch-up method is always a nice thing to do, especially if the supports have the free time to do so, considering that they have nobody to just pull you out of the offlane. And they're even applying some pressure onto the tower now. They have the siege creep, KS, even used the thunderclap just to clear the creeper a little bit faster. KYT finally shows his face there, but Scorched Earth is already on cooldown. It's going to get slowed down now. That's going to be a bit... Actually, never mind, Fisher follows as well. So he has to be a little bit careful, but he's going to be fine for the time being.
Tower is held. First departure don't have any pushing heroes, really. Beastmaster can get there very, very later on, but pushing down towers for first departure has got to come off of good team fights or good picks, or MiTH, for whatever reason, not willing to fight. So killing off towers is going to be secondary to just getting farm. Brewmaster already has his Arcane Boots up, now working on to his Blink Dagger. Once he has that, then I think first departure are going to, for the most part, dissolve this top lane and have the Brewmaster look for a kill, ideally onto the Troll. With the level 6 being picked up by Miracle as well, the Troll Warlord, if he gets blinked, clap, split, he's going to be so very dead so quickly. They're going to go for Dafa down the bottom lane, though. There's the Stormhammer to open things up, Magic Missile to follow, and with the Shadow Word, they're just going to cleave him down. Warlock got the kill somehow. Again, it's level 4 on the Warlock now, 2 kills to his name, and, well, MiTH don't have that much pushing either, but there's no one to defend this, so it's going to be pretty easy enough. Earthshaker's going to come in, but it's a level 1 Shaker. It's not going to do that much. Axes are going to clear the creep wave, but Tower's going to be brought down to about half. It's pretty much the exact same push that FD just did up top.
Yeah, and at the very least, those axes actually cancelled Lakel's. Oh, they get another stun onto Dafa. The Happy Heal to slow him down. Magic Missile as well. One more right click Lakel's. He's going to pick it up, Fisher or no. I mean, this Earthshaker just wasn't... I mean, even if he had been in the perfect position, probably wouldn't have been enough with the just... Oh, Miracle, Haste Rune. Can he get something in return now? He has a full refraction. Rather low on mana, actually no points into meld quite yet, so he's just going to have to back off.
Alright, so I just want to say how legit Upheaval is. It's a really bad skill if you have like a core Doom
Mid
farming or
lane,
something and you're trying.
throw. The right clicks are coming in. They're gonna get the kill, I think, as well. The miss chance is gonna be there, but is it gonna be enough? One more arcane bolt. He's actually still alive. Miracle has to tank up the tower a little bit, but in the end, it's gonna be fine thanks to his haste rune. So nicely got and killed there. Definitely Miracle. He needed it pretty damn badly, and of course, even for Skyriff Mage, just actually level 5.5, 7 minutes in, not bad at all.
Yeah, it's a very necessary kill for first departure, and that's going to equalize the lane a lot. But what I was saying about Upheaval, it's really legit, and it gets so much better when you have double stuns like this. Sven and Vengeful Spirit is a unique combination because you keep them there for long enough for Upheaval to really get started. And once it does get started, they're not going to last very long. The Fissure is going to go and block off MiTH from their possible aggression. Now here comes KS, gets Magic Missile instantly, but he's going to split regardless, and the Kells should be going down, especially if he uses Trap. Upheaval, it's going to do a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to be doing enough, especially when Warlock just bails. Lakel's is so dead now. Thrown up into the air just for good measure. It's going to land into a swarm of enemy heroes. The Rock is going to kill him? No, it's actually going to be the Beastmaster. And, well, they get the kill on the Sven with a successful rotation from the Brewmaster. Still, the Warlock isn't level 6. If he had that, they could have swung the fight so hard the other way.
Yeah, it would have been so easy with the chaotic offering, to be honest, like you said as well. But with that fight now, KS farming up the next creep wave that came as well. He's only 200 gold away from getting his Blink Dagger. And with the Arcane Woods, he should have plenty of mana to just always Thunderclap and have enough for the Primal Split as well if necessary. And actually he's gonna find Regeneration. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Do they have a bottle for somebody else? But Regen Rune, what a good rune to get us like kills. Trying to chase down Dafa again. Concussive Shot though makes it so that they have to back off, and Miracle. He's probably gonna give the bottle to KS. Have KS reaching up possibly with his mana. No, not even that. Just Regen Rune for himself. The greed, the greed!
Man, Miracle, why are you so selfish? You gotta share the bottle with everyone, because it's fine to share. Sharing is caring, and sharing wins games. But regardless, 4-2 is the current score. MyPro's still sitting in the middle lane. He has that Battle Trans up and available, so pushing for MiTH is going to be pretty deadly, as they are going to rotate KYT back up to the top lane. Has Doom available, and he's just going to get a little bit of farm with Dafa farming side by side. There are only 2 stacks of Ancients, so the Beastmaster actually didn't get that much going in that area. Though it's not going to be the biggest deal in the world, it is going to hurt him a little bit. He's going to be happy with the fact that he has a lane to farm, though, and maybe not for very long. TNK is smoked up and moving forward. The smoke is going to dispel, though, and Dafa is going to be just fine. It was kind of bold from TNK to just walk straight up the lane like that. Can't really expect that to work many times.
Yeah, usually you want to just come in behind the trees as fast as you can, like this way. But I guess he felt safe enough for intimidation tactics. I don't know. Sven though got strength activated on the kills. They want to go for the tower. Fissure already in cooldown, lacking a little bit of mana. And actually, he's gonna go for the stun. He's gonna get silenced up before the tower aggro is there as well. One more TP coming in, but it's tough fight. He doesn't have his primal roar anyway. Solo kills. Just backs off with a little bit of damage taken. Nope, he turns around onto Kai, but backs off straight away afterwards. And top, look at the range of Upheaval. It's pretty ridiculous.
I feel like that got buffed recently, because I don't remember being able to cast it from that far away. I know the circle is huge, but the range, that seems a lot higher than normal. It is a very long cooldown spell as far as basic skills are concerned, but still, it's completely disengaged for them. And now Mikasa in the middle lane, he's going to get doomed up. He does have, well, no more refraction now. This is going to be a very dead TA. She does have a Hand of MiTH, and she can't actually use it, although the traps are still usable. Doom is going to be denied, I think. One more whack. There it is. Brewmaster is going to get that, where TNK trying to throw a Magic Missile to secure the kill. It's a pretty nice win, I guess, for first departure. And Templar Assassin, controlling multiple units, certainly helping her out in that situation.
Yeah, and do you think actually TNK should have just gone for the Magic Missile onto the Brewmaster to potentially try to either force a Primal Split out of him or maybe even get the kill like that? But
I think, yeah, Magic Missile is probably a waste there entirely, because the Brewmaster would have had it. Wave of Terror probably would have been her best bet.
Yeah, that's true enough, but I mean, KS has his Blink Dagger at the very least. Hand of MiTH was finished in Templar Assassin, didn't get to use it unfortunately. And in the meantime, KYT got his own Hand of MiTH done as well. So both sides have won. Nobody has a clear advantage in the farm war in that way at the very least. Looking at the graphs though, 3,500 gold lead for MiTH. XP about, well, 1,600. So not as big as it was in game number 1, but a lead nonetheless. And of course, having the chaotic offering can make such a huge difference for them.
And they're all smoked up on top lane. If they find anyone here, I'm pretty sure they're just going to drop everything they have. But if no one comes up, then they'll just go for mid lane instead. MyPro is going to get clapped, and then Mystic Flare down. Easy combination for first departure. They didn't even need to split there. It seemed like they might have. possibly needed to, but they're just going to use it to push down the tower, I suppose. The tower on top lane is going to fall first, and SD is going to teleport right in as they do catch the Doombringer with the Cyclone. He's going to fall right back into a fissure, but here comes the Warlock ultimate as well as the Upheaval. Takes a little bit to get going, but now the Flaming Fists are demolishing Kai and KS both. One's going to go down immediately. Earthshaker down. Mikasa going to try to kill off this Warlock's Golem. I don't think it's going to be enough because the Stormhammer does come through from Lekels from the behind. Doesn't actually do that much damage to that Godshank, but they will kill off the Brewmaster before anything else. Now Mikasa body blocked. In fact, almost completely stuck. The Warlock's going to get a couple of punches in with the Golem, and Mikasa's going to get slowly but surely walked down. The Infernal not burning her anymore. Now will burn through those refraction charges. There goes the Templar Assassin. SD dropping the hammer and dropping it hard. The Upheaval combination with Chaotic Offering is just so legit.
Yeah, I mean, Upheaval is level 3 as well, now in level 4 as he hit level 7. Just extremely well done. I do believe the Chaotic Offering actually hit 3 heroes there, if I'm not mistaken. And Miracle at the moment, his only chance of survival was also just trying to melt dodge the Stormhammer, but couldn't quite get that as well. Lekels now. He picks up a Blink Dagger. Actually, I thought first he's going to go for drums with the Bracers, then I thought just straight up PKB Fogre Club, but nope, a Blink Dagger instead. Wants to be able to just blink in just next to somebody, get the Stormhammer and completely wreck them with the God Strength.
So the Troll Ultimate, Battle Trance, combined with Sven's God Strength pretty much means that Sven doesn't have to go for any attack speed items, or no budget attack speed items, so he doesn't have to go for Mask of Madness. He could just go straight for something like an Assault Cuirass after his BKB, which, by the way, he has completed. No, that's actually a drum recipe. That's kind of awkward, but BKB soon to be completed from Lekels, and once he has that, he's just going to pop God Strength, A move into the enemy, and with Battle Trance on him, he's going to be killing people so quickly. It's going to be insane to watch. So it's going to be a devastating Sven moving forward. And First Departure, they have the Primal Roar available finally for Dafa, but they haven't used it a single time. And even if they do, it's just going to be one pick off that MiTH Trust can very easily turn around with a couple of teleportations in. So this Beastmaster so far has done absolutely nothing for First Departure.
Yeah, it's a little bit sad, but man, now maybe they can go just get some pickoffs. I mean, just Beastmaster as well as Lobby should be enough to just get the kills. Primal Roar into that Mystic Flare. They want to go mid lane at the moment. As actually SD, he picked himself up a Hand of Midas as well on the Warlock. Hasn't used it yet for some reason. I guess the jungle was all farmed up, so he's waiting for it to respawn. But he got it 13.5 minutes in on top of Arcane Boots. That's pretty good for a support Warlock, to be honest.
Yeah, that's really good. And Warlock is a hero that does need a lot of gold, but here we go. KS is going to jump right in. Upheaval's going to get canceled pretty quickly by a rock, and they're going to try to burst down KYT. He does have a Doom active. He's probably going to want to dish that one out before he does go down, although he's going to slip away. Echo Slam on the back lines, but Lekels and the BKB just going to town, taking a lot of reckless damage from Mikasa, but now they're going to turn around with the bash as well as the axes, slowing down Mikasa. The wild axes are going to fly. Now the Warlock ultimate's going to drop onto Dafa. MyPro with the double damage, going to town there. Lekels going to try to fight up against Mikasa. Needs one more hit. Mikasa can't quite make it happen. I think she's faster, though. I think she's probably going to get this. It's going to be close. Lekels with the sick jukes. It's going to turn around, and then Mikasa just taps him, and then he dies. So the Templar Assassin will go down. 11-5 is the total exchange there. With all those ultimates being dropped, I think it's going to be fairly even, though I don't know the exact kill count. It's 2 for 1, maybe?
Yeah, it might be. I mean, SD, unfortunate that he was like 10-11 seconds off of his Chaotic Offering once the fight actually broke off. With that, having it straight away on the fight would have been a complete turnaround, I think. And of course the Sven kill on Templar Assassin was one of the biggest things possibly. You can't really allow Lekels on the Sven to just completely get out of control. And with his BKB, you would have thought that maybe he can just go roam freely in a fight, but Meld, it's still a pretty just huge source of damage, even with Templar Assassin not having any damaging items at all. And once again, his Hand of Midas was off cooldown when he died. So not getting the most out of it, but they are just aiming for Roshan now, and that's always something you have as the dire side. The Roshan advantage, especially if you have a Meld -8 armor.
Yeah, and also the fact that Sven has only got 1 point Warcry, so his armor isn't going to be as high as that could potentially be. So the Meld minus armor and then the raw physical damage from TA is going to be more than enough to kill the Sven. But now they're going to try to go for Roshan, knowing that the Chaotic Offering is down. Howl's going to scout this twice, so they know exactly what's going on right now. And do they actually want to go for this? Lekels has everything, and he's going to gear up. Fissure's going to almost completely wall them out, but now the drum is popped. Still the Roshan is alive, and now they're going to channel the upheaval, so no one can leave. Now here comes Lakelz with the BKB. He's going to 3-shot Lubby, very easily done. Roshan's still alive. It's going to be snatched by the Templar Assassin, but killed by the Radiant. The upheaval's still going to town as Dafa does finally unleash the Roar. It's going to do literally nothing to Lakelz, though. He's slowed down, there's no focus on him, and now Templar Assassin going to get bailed out for a little bit with the Fissure, but I don't think she's going to escape this one. She's going to be brought down twice. That's a 2-for-1 and an Aegis. Going to be going the way of MiTH. Also, they take the last hit onto Roshan, which is going to be a little bit nice of a boost of experience for them, but first departure, they don't have the clap there. They don't have the clap split there, and Lakelz in such tight quarters as Sven is probably the worst position you could possibly fight in if you're first departure.
I mean, he hurt so damn much as well, and a little bit before that fight, MiPro actually hit level 11 as well, and just the difference between each level of the ultimate is pretty huge. I mean, 60 attack speed for 7 seconds. It's a little bit more than just having a free Hyperstone extra, and it's absolutely sick combined up with the Sven, like you already mentioned previous as well. And I absolutely love that MiPro went for Vladimir's offering now, just boosting up his own damage as well as that of the Sven. And Sven doesn't really need to go for like Mask of Madness for the attack speed nor the lifesteal. So just overall, great itemization by MiTH, and they're playing so good as a team.
Yeah, they're really on fire right now. And the Hand of Midas working for the Warlock means that he's pretty much guaranteed to get his Aghanim Scepter sometime in this game, whereas ordinarily, though the Aghanim Scepter Refresher Orb is an amazing item combination for Warlocks, it's very, very slow because Warlock doesn't get a lot of farm. This is going to guarantee those items, and once they have that, then that's just a ton of damage going to be dropped right on top of first departure. Brewmaster should be fine, but no, not if KYT goes from up on top lane. This is going to be a simple Doom and chase down. KYT, I think, is just going to get this kill. Juke attempt from KS, but it's not going to be enough. The burn damage from the Scorched Earth, and then the Doom is going to kill him off. Now Lubby going to get nailed with that hammer, and now TNK taking a lot of damage in return, but he will survive, although KS is going to jump forward for a Blink Clap, and he will kill off that Vengeful Spirit. Now going to try to go for SD, who does still have the Chaotic Offering, but probably isn't going to be willing to drop it. In the meantime, Sven, up in the air along with MiPro, they're on the other end of this fight, and I don't think a fight is actually going to break out there. Warlock is going to be brought down by the Brewmaster. Lakelz in the God Strength, he does have a BKB if he really wants to, has gone for the Mask of Madness, going to 3-shot Kai really easily. Here comes Mikasa, try to lend a little bit of aid. MiPro's going to try to slow him down with the Axis, but the clap is there for KS, and MiPro is going to go down, TP out, barely going to get the kill. Miracle is going to secure that one for his team. That was 3-for-1, and MiTH, they kind of get separated just a little bit too much. Cyclone from the Brewmaster as well as the Fissure from the Earthshaker, making that fight so that the Brewmaster had all the time in the world to chase down two heroes, whereas the Troll and Sven were pretty much doing nothing while the rest of their allies were dying.
Yeah, definitely a little bit sloppy from MiTH coming out, and I actually think the Troll would have survived had he just activated the melee Whirling Axes, just to create that 60% miss chance. I think he just wouldn't have died to the raw physical damage, but I mean, in any case, MiTH, they should be still ahead by a pretty comfortable margin, and yes, almost a 12,000 gold lead still. Probably going to drop down to about 10k now after the fight in the tower, but XP also going to be sitting at around 9,000, so 90 minutes in, man, they are looking as good as before. And the ancient stacks, how many are here actually? It's only a triple stack, so not all that much, but Lakelz, easy farming.
These freaking ancient Thunderhides are always so lazy, they never leave these camps, but they're going to be cleaned up and punished for their laziness, as also on the same end, First Departure going to be doing the exact same thing, not with as many stacks and definitely not as quickly, but they will get a little bit of extra gold there. Sven, he has gone for the Mask of Madness. It is always going to be a good item for Sven, although I think in this game, we already both said it, it's a little bit redundant. Crucially for the Warlock, his Hand of Midas has been going overtime. It's 370 gold on him. He's about 2,000 gold away from his Aghanim Scepter, and he crucially did not use his ultimate in that last fight because there was no one to use it on. So MiTH Trust, they get to look for a fight because they do still have that ultimate. And First Departure, though they will have the split available once the fight comes, the Brewmaster ultimate is definitely not as flashy as the Warlock ultimate and only situationally better. Warlock ultimate is very, very hard to mess up.
Yeah, I mean, SD, not only has he been using his ultimate pretty nicely, also just combining it up with the upheaval gives you so much extra potential there. Just the upheaval, it scales so damn well if they actually stay in there for a couple of seconds. But is there going to be another smoke? MiTH, they are grouped up. Yeah, they have one smoke on TNK as well. 5-man smoke. Can they catch anything though? As actually Dafa, he's picked up a mech for First Departure as well finally. So at least they have that going for them.
Well, let's see if they can find anyone. Kai's the person who's in the most trouble, but First Departure definitely smells something. They're going to all move up. If Dafa throws axes, it's going to confirm this position. Now Lakelz, the smoke is broken, the fissure is there. So they know that Lakelz is here, and I think First Departure should know that everyone else is here as well. Question is, does it matter? The pushing here isn't the strongest. Sven's still doing a good amount of damage, and he has quite a bit of sustain with the lifesteal. If they want to pop Battle Trance, this tower is going to be torn to shreds, and it looks like First Departure, they're getting into position to fight, but I don't know if they actually want to. With Brewmaster off to the left like that, he does have a pretty nice initiation route. Lakel's going to pop the God Strength, so now going in First Departure is going to be a lot less appealing. MiPro going to take a little bit of magic damage. Lakel's with the Warcry forward wants in, but he's not going to find anyone. It's going to be very easy to clean up at the tower, whereas Mikasa up on top lane is going to get a tower as well. Fortifying will keep it up a little bit. KYT going to force the blink out from Miracle. Now the tower is most likely going to be denied, but the fight does break out. SD trapped in the corner. The Chaotic Offering is going to drop onto 3. The split is there, though, and SD does get swapped out, but he's not going to be able to cast anything following. Lakel's going to get trapped in the Mystic Flare. He won't take any damage from that, but he doesn't have any teammates available either. TNK is going to try to fight out. The Warlock Golem trying to do as much damage as he possibly can, but with the Doom teleporting out like that, First Departure found a nice little opportunity. Lakel's going to get silenced, thrown up into the air one more time. TNK looking for a TP access out. Troll Warlord from the back end will shred the Scarith Mage, and now he's going to rejoin this fight. Dafa's going to try to go for TNK, whereas KS and Mikasa both stunned up from a Stormhammer. Lakel's could probably turn around to fight, although a huge melt hit's going to bring him down pretty low. Dafa's going to throw some dust in the air, and now MiPro still very healthy. Here comes KYT. He's going to get the Doom onto Mikasa. Chaos is also still in the area, but I don't think he's going to get out unless he has no bashes. No, there's no bashes, but it doesn't even matter. KYT is going to come in just in the nick of time, and First Departure, they may have chased just a little bit too far. Sven, so tanky, and the Troll Warlord not being focused or touched at all in that fight, severely punishing First Departure for doing that.
Yeah, I think it was like a 2 for 5 by the end of it. Plus, of course, tier 2 fell a little bit before as well. And Doom even got the deny on the top tier 1, I want to say. So, First Departure, I understand that they want to go just deep because they are behind, and I'm pretty sure they know themselves as well. So they need to get those kills, but it's only worth it if you actually survive yourself, which is just not the case. And I was afraid that Vengeful Spirit is gonna lose his life. He even chose to stay there and use the Wave of Terror instead of just TPing out. And after the wave, he actually lacked a little bit of mana, since he had lost he would have lost the gem as well. So it would have been a bigger investment to lose, but he survived. They won the fight. But First Departure finally Kai. He picks himself up a Blink Dagger as well on Earthshaker, but even if he gets a huge Echo Slam for the time being, it's still going to be a level 1 Echo Slam only.
It's going to be rather mediocre. It's a nice position stun, I guess, but that's about it. Still, I'm not convinced that this Beastmaster has actually been worth the pick. He has roared Lakel's a couple of times, but in the BKB already means that First Departure, there's no one on their team except for Miracle on the Templar Assassin who could actually do anything to this Sven once the roar does come out. He hasn't gotten the initiation that he's really wanted at all this game. Dafa has not a single time initiated a fight, and without a Blink Dagger or Aghanims, it's a little bit hard to do so, but at the same time, roar as a response to BKB should be a backup plan. You should be wanting to kill the Sven with it first. TNK looking for a swap. He is level 11, so he has that swap at a very high range, and Lakel's off to the side as well. Finished up his Hyperstone, so he's well on the way to Assault Cuirass, and they'll have the Warlock ultimate cooling down very quickly with a Aghanim Scepter upgrade. Now is pretty much the ideal time for MiTH to fight. Top lane's being pushed, and bottom lane's being pushed a little bit as well, but I think they could go for it and be very comfortable doing so.
Yeah, and Aghanim's actually picked up on SD on the Warlock as well as the Brewmaster at the same time, but I think Warlock Aghanims might be a little bit more just substantial and meaningful here. And right, this tower just not a chance.
It's 300 damage a pop with God Strength. That sounds balanced. And First Departure not even going to try to defend.
And it's even boosted up more if the Vengeance Aura as well as the Vladimir's Offering are there at the same time. So he is just so damn painful. Plus, of course, Battle Trance is still level 2. No, it's level 3 by now. 180 extra attack speed for 7 seconds as well. It's better than a Tiny. Of course, Tiny together with Warlord would be even better, but this is good enough for them.
Yeah, Sven, his God Strength isn't level 3 yet. He's only level 14, so he has quite a ways to go before he's completely maxed out as far as his skills are concerned. Then I expect him to be hitting for 400 a pop without any auras, and maybe even 500 with extra damage applied to him from his teammates, plus the attack speed. This is the point in the game where MiTH are going to be very comfortable with the farm that Sven and Troll Warlord have gotten, and First Departure, they've missed their chance to be super aggressive early on with this Beastmaster, and now they're stuck in an awkward situation where they're going to be facing down a Sven late game. And though he doesn't have any crit or anything just yet, he's still just an absolute juggernaut in these fights. You can't stop him. I guess you can stop him with Primal Roar, but you can't actually stop him. with anything else. You can't kill him, and well, he's going to smash through your entire team because cleave is maxed out, and if you clump up for even a second, suddenly people who are taking cleave damage are getting chunked for 200 damage at a time, and that's not fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a powerhouse at this point in time, and MiPro, even he on the Troll Warlord has finished up a BKB now, so can actually stand in the fights, apart from, I guess, 10% physical damage, but even with that, he can potentially deal with, just get the melee whirling axis, get a 60% miss chance on TA, and you should be fine in theory. As Miracle, he's trying to head towards that Desolator at the moment. Not quite there yet, and well, if he gets it, it's definitely gonna help his just peak damage quite a lot, but he's gonna have to be able to stay on target as well while doing it.
Desolators, the minus armor is most likely just going to bounce off of this fresh Assault Cuirass that's being picked up by Sven, so armor for days for the MiTH Trust side between the Assault Cuirass and the Vlads. They're going to be very tanky to this Templar Assassin. Then after that, you only have to worry about the Brewmaster. They're smoked up, and First Departure don't know about this just yet. KS is going to get doomed right off the bat. Is there any stun? There should be. However, the Fissure is there, pretty well positioned. I don't really know if it's going to matter. The range stun is there. Now, the ultimate from Warlock going to drop only into the Skywrath Mage. He's real dead, and that's actually quite a large investment for SD to do that. I think it was completely unnecessary. They're going to get Roshan off of that. Unfortunately, the creep wave is being pushed by a couple of Miracle Illusions, so they can't actually go for the tier 3 straight off of this, but they should be able to very quickly clear this Roshan with the amount of damage they're putting out. Yeah, Roshan is not going to last very long. The Hawk is going to see everything. There is potential for a steal here, as Earthshaker is up on the high ground, but there's actually no heroes here anymore. It's just the Warlock Golems fighting against Roshan, and that's really nice for the MiTH side.
Yeah, they have plenty of health region to just tank it up. Lakels finally comes back in as well. They have the battle trance ready if need be. Oh, Miracle goes in Kai as well. There's the Echo Slam. They snatch the Aegis. They actually kill Roshan themselves as well. But they're going to lose the Aegis immediately together with Kai. Dafa on the high ground. He has Primal Roar. Waiting for Miracle to come back. There's the Mystic Flare. Doesn't do much of anything as Miracle will. He just melts. Oh, with a swap onto Dafa as well. They're going to get that Beastmaster. And well, 3 heroes down. Nice move from First Departure, but they're just so far behind that they can't stand up to them anymore.
Yeah, that was actually really great for MiTH. Obviously, it would be better if they got the Roshan and the Aegis, since then they would just be able to push in for victory straight up. But I think they could still do something similar to that. I mean, they took down 3 heroes at First Departure. The Echo Slam was used there, and the Beastmaster still off to the side. Didn't actually use the mech, I don't believe. He just got swapped back and annihilated. 3 are up for First Departure, and Brewmaster can make a pseudo defense here, but Lakels at this point can just run at the enemy, and look at this battle trance. Fortification, why you gotta be like that? I want to see how much damage they're actually doing. They're gonna find KS on the side though. This is going to be once again a Brewmaster going down without using his split. There's a follow-up stun, and KS is now doomed. Hammer's going to kill him off, and KYT is going to take that kill. Now they're going to go for the Raxes. This is going to be one set of Raxes at the very least, and now with Upheaval zoning everyone else out, they can't do a damn thing. That's one set of Raxes down, and now I think it's going to be backup, reload, recharge for MiTH Trust, and then go again for top lane or for mid lane or really wherever they want, just because they're so far ahead.
Yeah, and looking at the buyback graph as well, everybody on Radiant has it, nobody on the Dire side has one, so that just goes to show how bad it's going for the First Departure. I mean, Warlock, he's even building towards that Refresher Orb already, he has the Perseverance done. Although he's also been the one just buying some wards and whatnot. And look at the graphs, 25,000 gold lead in a 29-minute game. XP also has surpassed the 20k mark. I think it's a point of no return for the First Departure now.
To add insult to injury, TNK has the Ring of Aquila that's owned by Miracle, which he dropped to grab the Aegis. So Vengeful Spirit's walking around with the Templar Assassin's ring. She stole her bling, and she's going to win the game with it in her inventory.
Oh man, it's just, that's ownage, man. That's how you do it. That's how you roll. In the hood, you must fight to survive. But I mean, is there any chance for First Departure? I mean, Echo Slam, it's still gonna be only level 1. I mean, I guess there's a potential, but now, I mean, Lakels has picked up himself a Blink Dagger finally on the Sven. So he can just close the distance like that, and SD, he has himself that Warlock ultimate, the Chaotic Offering, but oh, they get the Thunderclap. Primal Split is there as well. SD, can they actually bring him down? I don't think so. There's the Echo Slam onto 2 heroes. TNK, Lakel's gonna get Primal Roared up, swap down actually, and well, they kill off Warlock, so there's no ultimate from him at the very least. Lakel's backing off as well, potentially thrown up in the air just as he activated the Gas Strength. MiPro trying to man fight the Brewlings, but KS's ultimate is gonna end, and he's gonna blink out. Miracle though going for Lakel's, actually might get the kill here even. They're gonna do it. They are actually fighting back. KYT gonna get slowed down, gets the 2-1 to Dafa. He's gonna get the kill, but is it actually worth it in that case? Probably gonna lose his life for it now. Enchant Totem not gonna be there in time. KS, Blink, Thunderclap, 1.2k gold for Brewmaster. 3 for 1 exchange, man. How the hell did they do it?
Well, a couple things went wrong there for MiTH. First of all, they were split in 2 fights. The right side of the fight was interrupted by Earthshaker, and that was the area where Sven was. So Sven was pretty much out of that fight completely. And then while that was happening, the Warlock was completely demolished, so he couldn't even get his ultimate off. That happened because MiTH Trust were caught off guard. You don't really expect to fight in that position if the enemy could barely defend their Raxes. So they weren't really prepared for an engagement at that point. And First Departure pounced at the exact right opportunity that they got everything that they needed, mainly killing off the Sven and throwing him up into the air so that his God Strength literally did nothing. Also eliminating the Warlock's ultimate. So those 2 factors together, and the fact that FD fought a super scattered fight with several fissures blocking and messing up the pathing, means that they are going to take the first fight in a very long time. But the Warlock, since he did go down before he used his Chaotic Offering, he still has Chaotic Offering. And with Doom reviving in 10 seconds, First Departure, they're going to be facing down a very strong consolidated MiTH that are going to be probably a little bit more prepared for any potential shenanigans. And now it's going to be the high ground defense. And though they have managed to take 1 fight, the more clustered the fight is, the better it benefits MiTH. And that means the positioning in the base of First Departure is not going to help them. It's actually going to hurt them.
Yeah, I mean, what item do you think TA is going to go for now? Just maybe save for buyback, but do you go for BKB? Is it necessary to just go all out damage on Miracle at the moment? Just try to wreck through the enemy that way?
I don't know. She's going to have to man fight against the Sven, and that's hard. Sven is just inherently more manly of a hero than TA, so she's going to have to play her distances. I wouldn't mind seeing something to help her move around, but I don't know. Blink Dagger to dodge Sven, it's not going to be enough. Lubby's going to get God Strength. 1-2 easy. No BKB needed. There's a Doom now onto KS. Can they kill him off before he splits? It looks like the answer is yes. MyPro and Lakel's both going to close the distance. Now the Warlock ultimate going to drop on the Dot, but the Warlock golems are going to town with MyPro helping out as well. The Brewmaster has bought back, and he does get a split out. Lakel dropping pretty low, and he is going to die, in fact. Doesn't have BKB or anything else. The Warlock golems are going to take down the tower in the meantime, but KYT, he's getting with the boulder, and Mikasa is going to jump forward for SD. 2 shots will kill him off. And Lubby going to chase down by the golems. KYT trying to juke into the trees. Will blink out of there alive. Where is this troll? He's still back in the base, trying to take down the tower. He's going to be brought down as well. Now TNK left all alone. The fight was a lot of buyback spent from First Departure, but they make a defense. And it was a pretty convincing one as well. It's a 4 for 1, 4 for 2, something like that.
Yeah, I think in the end it was 4 for 3. I mean, at least there were 3 buybacks on First Departure side, so 3 heroes definitely died. I'm not too sure if a support died and respawned or something, but probably 4 for 3. And I think the Warlock ultimate was primarily only used on the Beastmaster, so they need a little bit more, but they are gunning for it at the moment. Divine Rapier, was he on Miracle before that fight? I guess it must have been, right?
Oh man, I have no idea honestly, but this Divine Rapier is First Departure's chance at taking this game, and well, now they have the Refresher Orb on Doom. It's still going to be incredibly difficult because even though you may have the Divine Rapier, you're going to be dealing with a lot of stuns, a Doom, and just heroes to get right into your face. And that's, as Templar Assassin, not what you want to have happen. You want to be picking people off as they run. So MiTH, they should know that the Divine Rapier is now up on the TA, and she's died 7 times. So making that 8 times is not going to be too difficult for the MiTH side. They're in fact going to smoke up and go hunting. Templar Assassin's nowhere near her team. She has an Invis rune, so she's pretty safe. But I don't know. This is really First Departure's only chance. They have to keep Templar Assassin alive. If they lose the Divine Rapier, they lose the game.
Yeah, it's... Oh man, can they do it though? And actually look at MyPro. He's going for the Eye of Sky as well on the troll by the looks of it at the moment. Just to kite the enemies around, get some little bit of tank going for yourself as well at the same time. I mean, I guess not a bad item. Maybe not something I would have expected to see, but it's going to be good enough as MiTH. They are heading down mid, and once again, 30 seconds the one cooldown for the chaotic offering. They might want to wait that out, but we will see, man. They just want those racks, man. They're not afraid to just head bash themselves against them.
Mask of Madness on the Templar Assassin. She is going full on YOLO mode. She is invisible, and I don't think there's any gem or anything. Yeah, they can't see the Templar Assassin, so she's gonna get into the perfect positioning for her. She's all in at this point. Like, this is as all in as you get. Divine Rapier, Mask of Madness. No, this is not Sing Sing playing the Templar Assassin. It is, in fact, Miracle on the team First Departure. And now, MiTH Trust. They're just waiting for an opportunity to strike MyPro. If he gets a little bit too close to this uphill, he could be almost completely one-shot as Lakel is going to get Echo Slam and Primal Roar. He's going to get swapped out just in the nick of time, but he's going to be brought down anyway. That's the Sven down. He's going to buy back. The Warlock ultimate does go down. Dafa trying to be focused by that. Mikasa's going to get bashed down. This is the death of the Templar Assassin. Divine Rapier on the floor. Who's going to pick it up? MyPro has it in his inventory. Now he's going to start cleaving through all the Brew lanes. Kai's also going to get doomed up by the Doombringer. And MyPro switching from range to melee. He's trying to get his hands on anyone, but Mikasa, he knows it's over. MyPro is going to shred through everyone. Troll Warlord without any real damage items up until this point is now going to collect a whole bunch of heads, and the GG has been called. It was a bold attempt from First Departure, and you gotta hand it to them for going for it that gutsy, but ultimately the Templar Assassin cannot compete against bashes from the Troll.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, there was no way out of this other than going for the Rapier and hoping for the best, really. So at least they tried, got to hand it to them. But guys, this is gonna be it. MiTH Trust actually take this series 2-0 against First Departure. First Departure, they are still actually guaranteed a top 4 position, I think, so they will get into the playoffs. They have one more series to play after this, I do believe. But it's just a matter of if they're going to be 2nd to 4th now. I guess they can still get number 1 as well, if I'm not mistaken. But in any case, guys, this is going to conclude it for us for the day. I think the Americans will cast something at 1 a.m. as well, Central European summertime. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to drop a follow on this channel as well as HeflaTV 2 and HeflaMook, the English channels for our Dota coverage. And check out our social media, HeflaTV, on everything. The links are below the stream. And of course, Mike Loris, man, where can people find you?
Mike Loris on Twitter and Twitch, so that's probably the best place for you to find me. As always, guys, for not only me, but everyone at HeflaTV, criticism, constructive, probably not destructive, but anything you got to say is always welcome.
True that, it is indeed. So guys, just whatever you're gonna do next, have a good one.
Later, guys.